Pete had asked me the other day about effortless success and what kind of calls I'm getting recently. And it's a really interesting thing about coaching here. I tend to get similar kinds of calls for a while, and then they'll shift. And the most recent one has been people that are stuck in their stories. And, I'm not negating the value of the experiences we have and how they impact us and how they're opportunities to grow and their learning opportunities. But a lot of people ascribe meanings and make assumptions that become set in concrete and become just a complete belief system that they can't let go of. And so it's very challenging for them to see any other options. And I think there's two main components of this. Partly, as a child, we internalize a lot of things from our mentors, our parents, our teachers, and there are our authority figures, so we believe them to be true, so we integrate that. And then in adulthood, we take that further and start judging as good and bad or toxic or non-toxic or whatever the issue is. And they get so set that when you verbalize something, when you put it in words, it's like you make it finite. You make it reality. You make it. It's almost like a box that surrounds you, and you can't see anything else. And so one of my challenges as a coach is to help people to understand that it is a box, that there's always another choice, and to sort of help them expand and spread the perimeters and the parameters of the box so they can see the other options. The other part that is really challenging for people, I think, is that a lot of our stuff is internal, is the I am statements, and nothing raises the hackles on the back of my neck more than an I am statement with something completely derogatory or demoralizing. Say again?
An example. Give an example.
I'm always late, and I'm always screwing up, and I'm always wasting money. I'm always this, I'm always that. It's just, what you put after I am is it defines your world. And like I said, the languaging you use to a very large degree is what you're going to experience. I've had people I had a lady last week who was under financial duress, and she's got some, I don't understand what was going on, but some kind of investment in Brazil, and she can't get the money out, and she's just in a tizzy, and there's no other option. She has to leave it there. She can't go there. She can't do this. All these things she can't do, so she can't see beyond the box that we were talking about earlier. The other challenge, I think, is in the stories. We need to remember that the experience is just an experience. It's just an opportunity to learn. It's just a way to move forward in our life. But the assumptions and the beliefs, a lot of us do a lot of finger pointing. And so the other challenge with having a set story is you tend to externalize whatever's going on. So they did this, and that created this, and that did that, and this did this, and they're responsible, and it takes responsibility and puts it outside of you instead of inside where it belongs, because ultimately nobody but you controls your thoughts. Nobody but you controls your interpretation of the story. Sometimes, I want to reach down the phone and grab them and shake them. Who are you without that story? You are so much more than your story. And when I can get somebody to even get a glimmer of what I'm talking about, the whole parameter changes. The contraction just blasts open, and they can expand into all the other possibilities, all the other potentials, all the other ways they could be seeing it, all the other experiences they could be having. There's two exercises in Effortless Success that I particularly like for working with that. One of them is relatively pragmatic. It's on CD1 of course 2. It's on page 75 of the manual. And what you do is you tune into character traits and gifts and qualities that you think you have that are unique and that you really feel you are here to share with the world and to emote and to sort of expand out from there. And then you imagine how you would express those two characteristics, and then you imagine the world when you are doing that. Now, there's a couple things I really like about that exercise. One is you're really focusing on what you want more of. You're really focusing on your strengths. You're focusing on what you are good at, which is generally what you're going to do best anyway. And it also gives you sort of a global perspective. You get out of that me, I box, and you're able to see that you have a reason to be here. You have a unique gift. You are a very unique human being. And if you are expressing that gift, and it doesn't matter if you're a taxi driver or you're a doctor or you're an astronaut, if you have those qualities and you know what they are and you're clear on what you're trying or what you're here to express, what you're here to channel. You know, you're sharing your unique gift, and that is a fulfilling life. It doesn't matter what you're doing, because you're really, really living your purpose. The other one that I really like is Jack has a meditation called Disidentification. It's in Course 2 on CD6. And that is really tuning into you have a mind, but you're not your mind. And you have emotions, and you're not your emotions. And you have feelings about something, but you're not your feelings. You're always more than that, because those are so limited. And we are expansive beyond belief if we can just tune into it. I mean, there's a plethora, I love that word, of exercises in Jack's course, and that's one of the huge strong points for me. I tell people it's like this incredible toolbox, and I think that's one of the things Jack does just incredibly well. He can perceive what people are good at, and then he borrows. And the way he's integrated them in Effortless Success is just phenomenal. But those two particular exercises are the ones that I really, really like. I had a really, really neat experience with the Life Purpose exercise. I had a lady, this was when Effortless Success first came out, and she was being abused. And I could not get her to see. She kept condoning it. She kept saying it was the job was bad. His job was bad. This was wrong. You know, he had a really rough day, and I guess there was some alcohol involved. Anyway, I was really getting concerned for her safety, and I'd had several conversations. And I finally said, you know, you got to stop putting the responsibility outside. You have to start realizing that one of these days you're going to get knocked down and you're not going to get back up. And the breakthrough was when she finally admitted it was going to keep happening, and she started working on what her particular traits and attributes were, and she is now training to be a coach for battered women. And that was an awesome call. I had a little cry after that one. Anyway, that's the power of just really getting that the story doesn't define you, that it's just assumptions, it's just transitory, illusory concepts, and they have nothing to do with who you are. And if you're forgetting that, please call me, and I will remind you.